Mount Bischling is considered to be one of the best flying areas for both paragliders and hang gliders within the Austrian Alps. Paul Doppler and his friends from the Austrian paragliding community know this very well, and shows that even in the middle of a pandemic third wave in Europe, we can fly with social distancing. The sun was covered in Sahara dust and the Tenon Mountains in snow. What a view! Has that got you in the mood? I'm Regan TETLOW, and this is Season 5, Episode 7 of your Sports News. Arizona Airspeed 4-way team won the gold medal with an average of 31.5 over 10 rounds at the US Indoor Nationals at Paraclete, North Carolina, just a few days ago. With this title, Arizona Airspeed will now be the US Indoor 4-way FS team representing the USA at the 2022 Indoor World Meet in Belgium. The team posted big congratulations on Instagram for the organisation crew and admiring shout-outs to competitors alongside them with SDC Rhythm XP and Golden Knights team from the US Army. Now, this is definitely one of the most important news items this year for air race fans. World Championship Air Race has agreed an exclusive partnership with the FAI to stage an international series of air race festivals when the series makes its debut in the first quarter of 2022. Building on the legacy of the hugely popular Red Bull Air Race, the World Championship Air Race will use the experience its production team and competitors gained from the involvement in over 90 races in 34 different cities around the world.
We're still we're in negotiations with the guys. We've been talking to them for a number of years already, since the end of the Red Bull Air Race. But we're pretty hopeful. Here's the edge. We're dressing it up, currently doing a bit of work on it and getting it all painted and ready to go. So looking forward to the rest of this year. Should be some pretty cool announcements and a lot of exciting news, and we're looking forward to having this thing back in the track again.
WCAR and the FAI want to bring back the fastest motorsport series on the planet, but create a showcase for the future of aviation. Urban air mobility and sustainability powered clean technology. Can't wait to see the first race. And who knows about air racing more than an air race pilot? I caught up with the only Polish racer in the Red Bull Air Race competition, the world champion in the Challenger class, and a man who has done some incredible stunts in aviation. For example, flying under a bridge and landing on a pier. This is Luke Czepiela.
Well, Luke, from the Red Bull Air Race, that's where we all know you from, there, Poland, and with your aerobatic display championships, which have been fantastic. But you work as an airline pilot as well. How's it been for you with the pandemic? It's not good for people right now, eh?
No, it's actually it's a scenario I could never imagine. Until now, I had like 4 different sources of income, all of them connected to flying, and now I'm left down to one. And this one is about 50% of the part-time, so it's actually quite tragic. I'm working 1 day per month. I hope this spring and summer will bring a big upturn to what's coming up. People want to go flying, and I hope the governments would realize it, and we can relax a little bit all the restrictions, and hopefully this summer will be busy both with air shows and with the airline flying. I cannot wait for that.
So we got an announcement last week from the FAI, a cooperation with this new air race, the World Championship Air Race. What do you know about that so far?
Well, it seems pretty exciting. We've been talking with those guys for the last several months, actually, since the Red Bull Air Race has stopped. It's becoming public right now. They got the FAI approval right now. We are negotiating our terms, but the guys involved are really experienced ex-Red Bull Air Race people like Willie, Paul Bonham, and Nigel Lamb. So we have a good people behind it, and I hope this series can pick up where the Red Bull Air Race left. and we can go racing and be between the pylons again as soon as early next year.
What's the deal with the pilots? Have you got an automatic pass in, or do you have to apply again? What's the deal?
Well, I guess having the racing license, it's a big help, because they don't have to check whether you are safe enough to be racing and qualify the pilots again with the training camps and everything. It's very expensive, especially for the startup. So I guess the pilots who already have a super license for racing, I hope will be chosen as first. The negotiations are in progress. Hopefully we'll be able to tell you more in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I will be one of the lucky pilots who gets chosen for racing. I cannot wait to be between the pilots again. So Willie, if you're watching it, call me.
Get him in.
If you want to know more from Luke about the future of air racing and his new projects as well, you can watch the full-length interview on our YouTube channel. So how do you think the high-tech air racing aircraft will look in the future without piston engines? Well, Rolls-Royce already have the answer.
Our aircraft, the Spirit of Innovation, is a unique aircraft that we've developed specifically to go break the airspeed records. So it's a full electric aircraft. So we've got 6,000 battery cells all connected together to an electric motors to deliver more than 500 horsepower to propel our aircraft to 300 plus miles an hour and get that airspeed record.
The company have begun testing their new all-electric plane for what it hopes will be a world airspeed record. The aircraft has been named Spirit of Innovation and aims to breach the 300 miles per hour airspeed milestone, almost 100 miles per hour faster than the current top speed held by a German manufacturer. Recently, the project hit a key milestone as the plane taxied out onto the runway for the first time, beginning essential tests ahead of its first planned flight in a few weeks. So what can be a major problem for the competition glider pilot? Bad weather? Better competitors on the track? Well, yes, but not only.
Okay, I've got I can actually feel a bit of ice on the stick. So I am going to descend slightly down to try and keep it about 0 degrees temperature.
The hazard is that the ailerons may freeze, and amongst the risks, pilots may find himself in a position where, having to continue the flight in the mountains, he cannot turn away from the rising terrain and are possibly in a poor position to bail out. Before the 2021 gliding season, this is a must-watch for all pilots. Now, something for everyone who has ever dreamt of spaceflight. The SpaceX's historic all-civilian flight has just 2 spots left, and one of them could be yours. The Inspiration 4 mission, expected to launch no earlier than the 4th quarter of 2021, will be the world's first all-civilian spaceflight. The mission will send a Crew Dragon capsule into orbit around the Earth for 3 or 4 days. A few days ago, the group behind the mission announced that Hayley Arsenault, a 29-year-old physician assistant at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital and a bone cancer survivor, will join the mission. She will be joined by Jared Isaacman, the founder and CEO of Shift 4 Payments. The final 2 passengers will be decided via a competition and will be announced later this month. Alright, so let's stay in the space vibe for a while. A week ago we reported on the Perseverance rover's successful landing on the surface of Mars, and we all saw the stunning sight of the amazing parachute deployment into the Martian atmosphere. Well, I had the pleasure to speak with Anthony Levay from ALD Systems, who have been involved in the parachute testing of the last 7 Martian landings.
So Anthony, you've got your industry, you've got your business, ALD Systems, and we're talking this morning all about parachutes. Parachutes going back to Leonardo da Vinci, and then the latest one last week with that incredible landing on Mars. I've been watching those images of that parachute deploying every single day. To see a parachute deploy into an alien sky, it's incredible.
It is, absolutely. I've been waiting for this day for years now. We almost had an uplook camera on the last Curiosity rover, but it's the first time it actually got there, and it's just amazing to be able to see.
back from those spirit and opportunity, has the technology changed much from what we have now with Perseverance on the parachutes?
On the parachute side, it's a very similar design, the same style, just because there really are very few parachutes that work well supersonically. So the same design, it's called a disc gap band, and that's just the way it is. It's a
Tell me
flat
about that.
circular.
I don't understand that system. Tell me what the
Right,
disc.
so it's a disc gap band. It's just like a flat circular parachute up on top,
Yeah.
and then suspension lines, of course, go down towards the rover and the payload. But along the suspension lines, there's a band of material that's separate from that disc, and that's why they call it a disc gap band. And it just tends to work well for supersonic conditions. That band of material helps stabilize the flight.
It's the speed. The speed's involved. The speed that it's going, the machine is going before the parachute's deployed, and then the speed of the opening. Less than a second to full inflation.
Absolutely, that's the interesting part about these things. The parachutes, we know they open much more slowly here, and that's because we have a lot more air drag, a lot more atmospheric density. And up there, there's nothing to hold it back. So it just whomps open very quickly, and just nothing to stop it. And of course, the parachute material has to handle all that, and that's part of the testing.
Please don't miss the rest of this amazing story from Anthony. You can find it only on our Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel. Joby Aviation has released the first in-flight video of its tilt-rotor eVTOL after taking the somewhat secretive startup public in a deal with $1.6 billion US. The born-in-a-barn aircraft is shown going through basic flight maneuvers in the video. It has 5 seats, and Joby says it will go 150 miles on a charge at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. Joby also claims that the aircraft is 100 times quieter than conventional aircraft. US journalists are reporting that Joby hopes to begin revenue service in 2024. In my 30 years jumping, I've seen many marriage proposals involving skydiving, but not many like this. Rihim Hajir, 38, cooked up a plan to pop the engagement question last week in mid-air during a tandem skydive jump, keeping the ring clutched tightly between his teeth the whole time. A skydiver has proposed to his girlfriend while they were descending towards the ground from 13,000 feet. Fiancée Caitlin Rule, 27, was none the wiser until Rahim revealed the ring just after opening the parachute above Idaho. Rahim admits that taking the ring on the skydive was a risky move, and he had a backup just in case he dropped it.
I fall in love with you more and more every day, baby.
Thanks for always taking me on the funnest of trips.
Will you marry me? She said yes!
If I would have tried that, I would probably have swallowed the ring, and then the proposal would have had to have waited a few days. Okay, it's time for our Hero of the Week. In the Have the Dream 2020 short documentary movie, we follow a paragliding challenge of Veso Okichov and Andrei Pochenska in Quixada, Brazil. Passionately chasing their dream, they get to explore the mecca of long-distance cross-country paragliding. The documentary portrays how paragliding allows us to visit new places and meet new friends. During the trip, paragliders realize that on every travel we should opt to stay with locals, to get out of our comfort zone and be ready for a complete experience. On the 1st of March 1925, Ryan Airlines Incorporated, founded by Tubal Claude Ryan and Frank Mahoney, began a regular scheduled passenger airline service, the Los Angeles-San Diego airline, connecting San Diego and Los Angeles, the two largest cities in Southern California. The fare for a one-way flight was $14.50 and a round trip was $22.50. On the 1st of March 1912 in St. Louis, Missouri, Captain Albert Berry made the first parachute jump for an airplane. Pilot Anthony Janus took him 18 miles away from the airfield to the drop zone at Jefferson Barracks. The airplane was a pusher biplane. Barry had his parachute packed inside a conical container mounted beneath the airplane's lower wing. They climbed to an altitude of 1,500 feet. On the 2nd of March 1969, the Concorde supersonic passenger aircraft made its first flight. Concorde had a maximum speed of over twice the speed of sound, with seating up to 128 passengers. Flown first in 1969, Concorde entered service in 1976 and operated for 27 years. The round-trip ticket price from New York to London in 1997 was £8,000, more than 30 times the cost of the cheapest option to fly this route. On the 27th of February 1947, pilots Robert Thacker and John Ard took off from Hinckley Field on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, en route non-stop to LaGuardia Airport in New York. The airplane was a North American Aviation P-82 twin Mustang. The fighter had been named Betty Joe in honor of Thacker's wife. The Great Circle distance between Hickam and LaGuardia is a 4,324 nautical miles. So that's it for today. news@airsportspromotion.com is our email, and you can also register on the airsportsfan.com platform or contact with me directly on Twitter. I hope to see you back here again next week. But before then, let's fly with the amazing wingsuit pilot Kevin Borer, who just a few days ago jumped from the Jungfrau mountain in the Swiss Alps. Enjoy, stay safe, and as always, keep your eyes on the skies.